All right, episode 64. Today we're going to talk about how to gain social media market share during a pandemic with Coach Kyle Draper. We're going to get started right now.
Welcome to the only real estate podcast worth listening to, with your hosts Nick Good, Matt Kelderman, and Brian Force. Combined, they have 26 years of experience and have sold over 1,500 homes. Join them each week as they bring you everything you need to know about real estate. And now, here are your hosts, Nick, Matt, and Brian.
Ooh, Derek, how good are you at the ukulele yet?
Did you see my Insta post last night?
I did. You're getting super good. I want you to throw a curveball at us. One intro episode where Nick signs off and you're about to play. You think the intro music's going to come, but then it doesn't. It's just
break
Derek.
out some,
it's just
some
Derek
strong
doing a
ukulele
ukulele version, and it's like doom 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 doom, and it's like I don't know how
I'll look into that this tonight later on. If I come up with my own version, are you down for using it on the show?
What do you mean by your own? Are you going to do like a goth version? Like, what do you mean?
No, I mean like if
version?
I actually learn how to do it and kind of like put my spin on it.
Yes is the answer.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If there's a ukulele version sang by Derek of this show's intro, it absolutely gets
No,
played.
we'll
I
use
got
that
you.
from now on.
But I want you to come up with lyrics too.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, the untold truth about that is I do about 20 to 30 takes, and I give you the best 20 seconds of that.
Exactly.
But you're looking, like you're not even looking at the camera. Like he's practicing the look, too. He's
Yeah.
getting the hat just right. Like,
You gotta have the aesthetic, man. I'm
Yeah.
trying to look cool for at least 20 seconds, right?
yeah, there's Slayer on the banjo is amazing, is what Brian McDonald just said.
Slay.
So, all right, episode 64. Today we're going to talk about with Coach Kyle Draper. He is back. He's going to share with us how to gain social media market share during this pandemic. And before we get started, this is your first time watching, go ahead, go to iTunes, leave us a review, please. Go leave a review right now. And then join us at our Facebook group, the only real estate group worth being a part of. I did a live video in there last night. So if you're listening to the recording of this, that was on May 19th, 2020. And we're working on getting entrepreneur, big time businessman. He mentors and coaches Barbara Corcoran.
Oh wow.
Troy Aikman, Damon John. So he's offering up some time. He did a special event for our group, the Good Home Team, where he wants to talk some motivational stuff, wants to talk business, how to make sure that you're staying focused during this time. I mean, this guy's legit.
Speaking of staying focused, and this is like the perfect segue because we got Coach Kyle Draper here, who is just like unreal, like the Phil Jackson Zen of social media in my eyes, for sure, or at least content creation, but more than that, consistency. And this is like to dive right in. I don't even want to, if you guys don't know who Kyle is, he's been on the podcast before, so I don't want to waste like an hour doing bios. He's awesome.
Please don't.
Check out all his stuff. He's super, super cool. Check out at Coach Kyle Draper on all of social media. But like this specifically was such a big hurdle to overcome for Kelderman and I, because as soon as like lockdown hit, we were like, oh, man, we're going to create so much content. We're locked in our houses. Like, dude, every day, me and you on Zoom all day doing it. And like 6 days later, I was like, I'm out of stuff to say and I don't want to do anything anymore. Do you want to play Call of Duty at 9 o'clock in the morning? Like, that's legit what was going on.
Yeah, there was a week and not a lot got done.
So I think that like just that, it's mentally exhausting,
Yeah.
man. So like just to kind of dive in, like how have you been maintaining your stamina to keep creating content through all this?
Well, what's interesting is I watch other people that just do what we do, and I'm like, man, I suck compared to stuff. So it's just, it's all in the eye of the beholder, I guess.
Sure.
For me, I try to just live in the moment most of the time, and whether it's something I read that day, I don't like thinking in like, what about episode 1 through 12? Then I'll be ready to go.
Sure.
I just kind of jump in and go. So like yesterday I did a live video because something that someone said in a meeting I was in just jolted a thought in me.
Yep.
And I just wrote it down in my journal. And then I literally went and worked out and was sitting on our back porch, drenched in sweat. My hair was slicked completely over. And it was just like, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that's what works for me, is just trying to live in the moment, knowing that I've got to be creating content. I know that. So I'm just looking for moments to create whatever that's going to be.
I think
You know?
So did it get harder during that time? Because you, like, to call me out, you sent me a message, and I should have it pulled up. It basically is like, look, man, like, this is the time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and I'll be honest, I don't even know if I responded to that message.
No, you hearted it.
Yes. Okay.
So
And then he's
you
like,
didn't-
love that.
You
And
didn't
then-
totally ghost
And then
me.
Kyle's like,
Yes.
this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Right. It's kind of like my trainer. He's like, dude, you don't need to be eating that. I'll heart that.
Yeah,
I
that's
won't
right.
respond.
Yeah, I think what I'm realizing more and more, and I think what I wish real estate would get, is people know that you buy and sell houses.
Right.
They know that. And if we're being honest, there's a dozen, like you were just talking about a bunch of referrals you just got. Those could have easily gone to somebody else.
Sure.
But there was something about what you've done in some capacity for all those people that allowed you to rise to the top. And so I think some of that is the personalities of you guys on your taco show, and just being jackwagons and just having fun.
Yep.
And not going, but guys, we got to be so serious, man. Like, we're talking about $1 million houses and $500,000.
Sure.
Right? Like, nobody cares about any of that crap. You know, so I think people need to understand your people just want more of you.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like. You guys, it was slapstick fun taco videos.
Yep.
If it were Nick, it's gonna be more driven by like leadership and sales, and because he's not like a slapstick guy.
Sure.
Right.
If he tried to recreate
He's an
y'all's
adult, is what you're
videos,
trying to say.
they'd be hilarious to us, right? But it wouldn't be his audience. His wife would go, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to be Brian?
I
That's-
did do a TikTok.
His wife says that a lot.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to be like Brian?"
She's like, you're never going to be
Yeah.
like
She's
Brian.
like, you can't drink that many White Claws. Here's something I posted the other day. It was a few months back, and to talk about all this, I just got around to having somebody chop the content up, but I was on our boy Joe Rosen's show, and I've heard you say this, and I heard other people say this on our show about how we ultimately just use our social media for a freaking commercial
Yeah.
about our business. And that you either don't do anything at all on your
Yeah.
social media, or it's all work related. And nobody wants to see any of that. They want
Right.
to see all the stuff in between. Everybody reacts way more positively to anything I'm doing with my kid or in my day than they are to, like, you know, the review that I have the hub post up for me that makes it look really pretty, and I'm like, hey, another great review. People are like, yeah, okay. Right? Like, nobody cares about that stuff, but somebody just get caught up in only posting that, and then they wonder why nobody engages with their social media and
Right.
all that. So
Well, and the beauty of what you just said, so you were on Joe's show,
yeah,
talking real estate stuff, talking whatever that was about, right? So now, when you chop all that up and share it, you're not like, it's not you pitching yourself.
Yep.
Because you're showcasing your talent on somebody else's show.
Yeah.
When I share this, I get to go, hey guys, look at what I got to do.
Yeah. Yep.
And people don't go, look at that Kyle guy just trying to pitch his coaching and stuff. Because I'm on your show.
Yep.
Right.
And so I think that's another great point to just help people understand is, like, you need to get FaceTime on other people's stuff. Whether that's you're going on theirs first, or what I choose to do is I just like reaching out to people going, hey, can I interview you?
yep.
And then most people are going to return the favor and end up bringing you on something that they're doing. And now you're getting validation that you're somebody.
Yeah,
Well, you're probably
100%.
collaborating with people who are doing a bunch of video anyways.
Yep.
Because I'm about to try and push something out that's like me and some other agents doing some just conversations, right? But I initially went through and selected people that I follow on social media at a high level, so I have stuff to talk to them about that I was excited about, and people I see doing a lot of video. So I know I don't have to carry the conversation or that it's not going to get really awkward, right? So I think
Yeah.
everybody's got those people in their world that they could go to first and start something like this up.
100%.
There's plenty of them.
So during that time, though, did you struggle with that? I mean, you went from, and we talked about it before show, you were doing live events, right? So
Yeah.
now you're stuck at home,
Yep.
right? Wife,
Yeah.
kids, and you're the amounts of content you can create increases, but maybe the things that you're doing, right? The everyday is just boring routine life.
Oh,
and so you're
yeah.
trying to, and it's the same. It's Groundhog's Day every day. So
Yeah.
how do you come up with that new content during that time? Where you're like, I see you're taking your daughter on a walk every day, and I'm like, I'm watching this, and I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
falling into it.
Yeah.
Then why am I not doing it?
Yeah. Well, you said it. Man, quarantine started. We're going to do so much content. We don't think about how much of the content we end up wanting to do comes from just the interactions we have with people when our world used to be normal.
Yeah.
Right? And so that was the hardest thing for me, is I committed to just doing content every day. I think I did a live video at least every day for like the first 30 days of quarantine. I haven't done it every day since. But it was a complete grind. And it was one of those things, like you've been doing a ton of training,
Sure.
you know, and just working out a lot.
100%. Yeah.
99% of those days, it's not like your alarm went off and you're like, oh, heck yeah, bro. I can't believe I get to go do this again.
Yeah.
It's just something that you commit to, and you know, hell or high water, I don't care if it's at 11:59. I did some live videos during my stretch at like 11 p.m.
Yep.
and like 2 people watched.
Yeah.
But you got.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Because we get too caught up in, did you get a lead from that video today?
Right.
Well, no, because that's not how it works. So I know that I can still push content, even if it's 11:30 at night, to get it in for the day.
Yep.
A month from now, a year from now, someone's going to see it that's going to result in something positive happening
Yeah.
for my business.
I think you made a really good point earlier that I want to come back to too, and that's we're talking about, because I think one of the reasons that a lot of people don't create content consistently and it gets so exhausting is they're just like, I don't know what to talk about. I
Yeah.
don't know what to talk about.
Yeah.
And my answer has always been to people, if you don't know what content you want to put out, it's because you're not consuming enough content. Most of what you're going to put out, like, very few people are just coming up with all these brand new original ideas every day that no one's ever thought of. And they're
No
like,
doubt.
oh, that's the content that I'm going to make today, right?
Yep.
If you consume more content, watch other people's stuff, read more, right? Like understand what's going on in the world and other people's lives, all that type of stuff, you're going to get plenty of ideas for content, right?
Yeah.
But I think people get kind of locked. And I think that's what's been tough about quarantine is like, especially in the first month, is like, dude, every time we turned around, it was about one singular thing going on in the world. And it was like there was nothing else going on.
Yep.
So it was like, I mean, he and I got on every day on our lives. We were like, how do we not talk about coronavirus? We started talking about all the funny animal stories that were happening from around the world. Like, it was crazy. There was a 6-week spurt there where like animals were like, you have no idea how interdependent animals are
falling
on
in
humans. There was a cheetah that fell down a well that he didn't see. Like all
Oh
these
my
sheep
gosh.
were like overrunning towns and they didn't know what they were getting stuck in storm drains. It was crazy, man. Like they need us.
They do.
They super need us. But it was because we would just read the news and
Yep.
find fun stuff. So if you consume enough
Yeah.
content, you'll have more ideas.
Well, and think about, we all know who Gary Vee is. I
Love
can't
that
tell
dude.
y'all how many classes I teach, and I mention him or use one of his quotes, and 90% of the room is like, who?
Yeah.
really?
And so because we consume content, right, but most people don't. So I think a lot of times we let our pride get the best of us, because Nick, if he's not careful, any of us, we'll sit around and go, well, like I already saw somebody else do that, and I want it to be original.
Right.
There's no such thing as original anymore.
Right.
Right? Like, how many million taco shows have there been?
Sure.
But there hadn't been yours. Right? And so I try, like, and some people may not like this. Hopefully most people will. But I'll watch something that I heard somebody else say and then just regurgitate it in my own way.
Oh, of course.
Because I'm not trying to steal credit. I'll even say, man, I was watching a show
Yeah.
today and I heard, so I'm not trying to act like I'm some brilliant mind.
Right.
But nobody cares, because those are my people who want my words with my brain and my thinking. And I think that's a part of it we overthink.
It's not like joke stealing or plagiarism or something,
Right,
right? Like
no.
it's like
Right.
somebody said something that resonated with you, and you're like, you know what? These other people who I've talked to about this similar type of thing would probably feel this as well. I do the credit thing for you too. I'm like, I do it a lot with. I was like, I was listening to Ticket today, and they said,
It's just your subtle way of being like, if you've already heard this, don't call me.
yeah, don't
you
call
know,
me out
like-
on it.
I just do it because I don't want people to ever think, he didn't come up with that.
Right.
I just want to go and get that out of the way.
Yeah.
No, you're right, I didn't. But I have my own spin on it.
Sure.
That's different from the original authors.
No, 100%. 100%.
And everything's opinion based now, anyways. So somebody offers a thought, you offer your opinion on it. That's what everybody does in every talking head format
There are
everywhere.
very few original ideas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's mostly
Yeah.
commentary on other ideas. Paul Gilmore, who's one of our business partners, just chimed in. He's saying like how a lot of times when you think a piece of content is going to be a dud, it actually ends up being gold. It made me think
Man.
of like one of Kelderman's most viewed live videos is an hour-long video of him making fettuccine Alfredo with his son, and it has. Dude, if he kept commenting back, that thing would have over 1,000 comments now. Like it was nuts how many people watched that and watched for a long time.
There were people who rode that whole experience out.
Like they spend an
Sat there
hour
the
of
whole
their
time.
lives staring at their phone watching Matt make pasta. And here's the thing, it was super engaging. I watched for a while too.
And if you could know the data, you'll probably end up with multiple listings that come because of that video.
And just the overall efforts that you're just always putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And we tell agents that all the time, right? Like your lead generation efforts, right? Because that's everybody wants to act like they're using social media for something else, but you're trying to shortcut away to business. So it's
Right.
lead generation at some point.
Right.
They want to know the really super quick way to get from point A to point B, or they want, like you said earlier, the video today got me a lead today. It's just a culmination of crap over time
Yeah.
that people have seen, and I can become top of mind. One of those referrals I got was from a gentleman who lives in LA, who I used to bartend with at Houston's here in Addison. I haven't had a conversation with him in a decade.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've just been friends on social media, and I don't see him engage with a lot of my stuff, but he's obviously watching it because he sent me these people. We got them over to a lender today. I reached back out to his for his address so I could send him something, and he's like, "I'm probably going to be getting home, somewhere down the road, so we'll use you to buy a house then too."
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And that's just if Facebook didn't exist, me and him probably would have zero reason to still know what each other had going on. Right. And he just over
huge,
years has seen it. Yeah.
I try to help people get. Let's say that you post on Monday, and then you take a few days off and you post on Friday.
Yep.
But if your neighbor wakes up on Wednesday morning and somebody in their family's like, "Hey, I wonder how much that house is worth," they're gonna jump on social media just naturally, and the first friend who's a realtor that comes across their feed is most likely gonna be that first call.
Yep.
And so shame on you because you're like, well, I already post Monday and I'm going to do it Friday.
Yeah.
So what do I really need to do in the middle? That's why almost like aimless content is so valuable.
Yep.
Because it's the random fettuccine video that catches somebody's attention and goes, oh shoot, I almost forgot Kelderman was a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And boom, it shocked them back into positioning them to call you.
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
So let me ask. So last time you were on the show, I think it was the last time, or maybe the first time. One of those other times, you were.
This is number 4.
Just like
This
whenever.
but is this 4 in the studio or 4?
Oh no,
including-
we're counting the fourth one because I had to die on camera with this man, and that counts.
Is that 4 or is that
Yes.
5?
No,
B
that was
Live
4. That was 4. The
disaster.
B
Is
Live was
this the third on
This
the
is the
actual
third in
show?
I think this is
Studio.
3rd in studio.
Okay.
The
And
then
4th
the
one
B-Live
was the
one.
one that Brian and I failed Matt.
Yeah.
And then
Man.
Kyle and I are just sitting there. Kyle just with his
what
with his
a
little
story.
puppy dog eyes trying to just save me through the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm just like dying on the other end.
and look, he came back.
my
Like,
freaking
look,
head's about to pop off.
I'm just here to help.
But there, one of those times on there, you were going in on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You were working on building that,
Yeah.
right? And so are you still all in on Facebook Live? Because that was your thing, right? That
Right,
was,
right,
you and Chauncey Pham, who's a good friend of ours, loves the
Friend
show.
of the show.
She's hit 3,000 followers yesterday.
Yes,
so
she did.
congrats.
She's
Chauncey.
killing it. She's absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
But she does not like to do Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
Right, so are you still all in on Facebook Lives and then still slowly working on your YouTube, or how's that going?
Yeah, kind of. I think for me, just being completely transparent because of our audience, YouTube still scares me because I've gotten so good at doing live video
Sure.
with my people that I know I can get views, I know I can get comments,
Yeah.
people are paying attention, but I can put up a YouTube video that I think's killer content, but it gets 40 views because I just don't have that built out yet.
following yet, yeah.
And so it kind of humbles me.
Tagging a whole new platform is
And
scary.
Yeah.
and it just I go, man, like I can get 40 there, I can get 1,000 here, and then it's safer here. And so Chauncey kicks my butt all every time we talk. I'm better at YouTube than I was,
Yeah.
but I'm still not sold out to it, which is dangerous because I'm trying to be a national speaker, right? So I got to get out of local, whereas for you guys, you don't really need that presence necessarily. So it's tough, but I need to get my butt in
So
gear.
you say that. So we all view our real estate business as national business,
Yeah.
right?
well, I guess for recruiting as
Not
well.
even just from lead gen in particular,
Yeah.
because I had a lady who is a local lady who messaged me today, say, hey, we're looking at moving to Florida. Who do you know? right? So that is, now I can make that connection, and there is a referral fee that comes about from it, right? So we're now, like, we should be considering our businesses as national business anyway.
Yeah.
Right, not just from a recruiting
Yeah,
play.
smart.
That's a secondary item of that. So still staying in Facebook. If you're going into YouTube, what's the scary part about it? Is it the 40 views and learning like the SEO algorithm and stuff like that, or what's the holdback on that?
I think some of it is the analytics side. Like, I'm not a numbers person. I'm a relationship guy that just is good at hitting the button, doing my thing, and then moving on. And so on YouTube, there's so much more editing involved. Then you got to learn a new algorithm, and there's such a depth of understanding that goes into that.
Yep.
And so I feel like if I take my current way of doing business, which is to just post and go, I don't know that I'd ever get traction on YouTube unless like something crazy happened and Oprah watches this and is like, I got to get that Coach Kyle guy. He's unbelievable. And then all of a sudden my YouTube channel has 1 million hits, right?
That's
but
how Gary Vee started.
Yeah.
That's just not likely. And so I think that's a big piece to me. And I'm also fearful. I think I think back to like the middle school fat kid that like got made fun of all the time. And YouTube is kind of like that playground where the bullies are.
Yeah, man,
Right?
for sure. I get that.
And again, I've yet to have a negative comment, period. So it's not like something bad happened.
Right.
But it's just that, I don't know, like Facebook is full of my people.
Right.
Yeah.
And YouTube's full of strangers
But have
that
you
don't
made,
have to care about me.
Have you made it when you get the troll on YouTube?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, is
I
that
think
the
the
goal? That
troll-
to me is the goal, right?
100%. Yeah.
Well, because then apparently what your bit gets to be, because I see when people get a certain amount of YouTube success or social media success, the next step is to make a post and or video about how you don't care what people think about you and you're going to do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Like, I have seen so many people do that over time, and I appreciate it, but you're also on social media doing what you want. We already get it. You're here. We're enjoying you. Like, acknowledging the fact that you're going to do what you want is telling people that you're acknowledging that you hear the mean shit they're saying to you. And I've seen that happen.
So does that
true.
mean you actually care then?
Oh, 100% it means
usually
you
when
care. You don't look. Here's the thing: is if you post a post about not caring, it's because you care.
Right.
I'm just gonna tell you that right now. And I'm feeling like that because I'm like you. I'm a little bit scared.
Yeah.
I'm always a little bit too afraid that like I'm gonna be fact checked on this show, or I'm gonna put something out that it just is gonna live forever, and it's horrifying to me. And I don't have the editing and the back end part of YouTube, like the passion to dig through that, man.
Right.
I can just hit the button
Right.
and go on Facebook and be done.
Yeah, if I had multiple $1,000s to just put a team together,
Sure.
and all I had to do was just film, and then I pass it off to people that are going to edit and then put all the meta tags and do, then it would be easy for me. But it's I don't have those thousands to put into that yet.
I mean,
And
if
so
and
it
when you
makes it
find
harder.
that team, man, let us know because we have been looking for those people that. I mean, the biggest part of it is like, because Matt and I go back and forth on this all the time because we would love to leverage out a lot of the stuff that we do, but it's so much of it is understanding the nuance of what we're trying to do and giving our baby over to somebody
Sure.
else to
Yeah,
be
it's
like,
tough.
produce this in the way that we would do it, right? And like, and we've had people edit even our taco videos in the past, and they turned out great after a while. But there's that chunky middle where it's just like the vibe is not the same, and then
Yeah.
I mean, and to get really really talented people like we had before, it becomes very costly too. So and
Yeah.
you can do things on the cheap as well, but there's going to be a big disconnect in the way you see things and the way that they think that you want them to see things.
Sure.
You know, so there's a big, I know a lot of even the highest level content creators, they will pass off a lot of the task oriented stuff, but even just the editing they'll keep to themselves. 'Cause, like this is where the real video is in the way that I put it together.
And I
at
want
least
no
for
part
YouTube
of
and stuff.
that.
Yeah, I don't either.
But here's what people need to be doing. If you take nothing else from this episode, get in the habit of creating content daily. And get what I said. I didn't say post it.
Right.
Just create it. Because I think so many people get all up in their head and they think when I have the team, when I have more money, when I close a few more deals and get more confidence, then I'll start creating videos. No, you won't. Because there's insecurities laced all throughout this process.
Yeah.
That we have to overcome every time we do it. And so what I've been trying to help people understand is just record a video today. You might never post it.
Yep.
But you're one step closer to that confidence that you need,
Yep.
right? And you might have something in the archive that is what we would call evergreen. So it's beneficial today, a year from now, a decade from now. And so you could record something today that you think sucks, but a year from now you're like, you know what? That really didn't suck.
Yep.
I'm going to throw that up on my YouTube channel, and it would still provide value to people. So just start turning on the camera and just saying something.
Yep.
And watch that evolve into something great.
Now, could you do a fake live? Right?
Yeah.
Like, have you seen, because you can go, there's some companies out there, it's a little bit, like a few dollars, to where you go record your video, you make it seem like it's live, you record it.
I was thinking about a different idea that's
But-
free. But that idea
Yeah,
works
but
too.
you can do that. But
Yeah.
is the free version just making a watch party?
No, so this is only available on your personal Facebook page, but you can open up live video, change the privacy setting to only me,
Oh.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then you can go live, and you can do the whole video. You can do a walkthrough of a house. You could interview somebody. If I want to interview you, we could change it to the setting that says specific friends, and I only say you.
Mm-hmm.
So now you and I can do a literal Facebook Live interview. No one can see it. Afterwards, if I like it, I can post it and then change the privacy back to public. And you get almost, other than the live interaction, you get all the benefits of live video without the fear, which is what most people get crippled by.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's a super easy way to start practicing live without going, oh my gosh, what if I mess up? It doesn't matter. You can delete it. Nobody even saw it.
Well, and then you get used to. I think the thing for a lot of people is, and I know it was for me for the longest time, was I was just concerned about some of the stuff aged, right? And it'll still happen every once in a while. I'll see an old video and I'm like, ugh, right? Like I just don't like how I looked or what I said or whatever. But I think the live video thing's great because then they get used to going back and watching themselves, hearing their voice, seeing that nobody's gonna say anything nasty to them, right? And they're like, okay, well now I'll start doing this live because that's a lot of people's fears. They just think they feel like they're gonna look like an idiot.
Yeah, but here's what's interesting to me. Why do we care so much about that?
I
You
do.
know, like I feel like some people are like, oh, dude, if I wish you could see my high school yearbook picture. I threw my yearbook away. I don't even want people to see that. It's like, who gives a crap what you look like 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, why did so?
Wouldn't it be so weird if
why-
you met someone and saw their yearbook photo and you're like, oh, I hate you now.
Right, like that's not even a real thing.
Well, but at the same time, someone can go find and post it. I mean, Vika, my sister-in-law, tagged me in a post from she's found some old photos, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, all right, but I can't change the way I look.
Yeah, but
right?
who cares?
Yes, who cares? I can't.
Like
change
it doesn't. As long as you're cool with today.
Yep.
You know, so I want people to be able to see. They're like, whoa, 4 years ago, man, your videos were rough. Because that shows, right, the maturation process.
Sure.
That I'm committed to getting better, right? It'd be bad if I was the same as I was then. And so I don't think I can appreciate who someone is today if I don't really understand who they were before. You know? So, you know, I think that's an important part of the process.
Does the live feature have where you can let's say that we were doing this show live like the way Derek does it, right? Are we able to put in clips, like an intro clip and stuff like that? Do you have that on your personal page yet where we could throw in an intro the way Derek does
Well,
it? Well,
you can, but you've got to use, like I'm using right now StreamYard.
Okay.
So on StreamYard, you can load in up to 5-minute clips that you can actually play like right at the beginning of the live to make it feel like it's a legit show.
Right.
I haven't gotten that advanced with the platform yet, but it's possible.
StreamYard is an amazing tool.
And then on StreamYard, like I can stream to my personal and business at the same time. I can stream to my personal and YouTube at the same time. You know,
You
so
can record it too, right?
yeah,
Just
you
for
can
future
just
stuff to
record
go
it
around Yeah.
without having to go live with it, and it's super cool. I think it's a super legit platform.
And it's pretty affordable.
Yeah, I think I pay for the first paid version, and it's $25 a month.
Yeah. But if you want it for free, I use a free version
Yeah.
of it where you can't do it. It limits the tools. I did a live interview yesterday using StreamYard.
Yeah.
And it just puts the StreamYard logo up. I can't
And you
change
can only
that.
send it to one place.
Yes.
But for most people, that's fine.
Yeah. StreamYard's much better than BeLive. If StreamYard
I
was
totally
around
agree.
when you interviewed Kyle the first time when we bailed, we may not even be hacking.
The thing
the
I like
4
about
times.
StreamYard is because I was talking to Derek about this too, is just the banners and all the other stuff you can do. I think with
Yeah.
the paid version is really sweet.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing too. I don't think we talk about enough of content creation is you talk about all that kind of throwaway content that happens during the day that doesn't really need to live all forever.
Sure.
But it can live for 24 hours in your stories.
Yeah.
That's another space where I think a lot of agents, you're not, look, your whole group of people who watch it, your whole friend list isn't going to engage with your story stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But the analytics on it are really easy to look at. You can see over time. I'll tell you, the views on my Facebook stories have went up dramatically in the 6 months I've been doing it, right?
Yeah.
And then you just start putting like all those little things like I actually stole this from Nick. He takes a screenshot of essentially what looks like the confirmation email every time his team has a listing or a buyer, and he puts some little pizzazz around it and slaps it in his stories. I started doing that.
Yeah.
I legitimately sold a house before when it was legal, off market because of that. But there's also, I mean, it just allows people to continue to see that you're working. And it's all the little stuff you do
Yeah.
each day. All the stupid little things maybe you see at a house that you're like, why is there a pencil sharpener in the pantry of this house? Nobody cares about it enough, but it's funny for like,
Right.
right? And then they swipe on by. That little content works really, really well too, or at least as for me.
No, it's great, and that's where Nick, like, that's all Nick does in his
It's
stories.
just all
That's
stories.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just, he's so successful. He doesn't even have time to do anything other than remind everyone how successful he is. So one day we're going to get him beyond that.
Yeah.
But I think stories are huge. I hate stories.
Right.
Like, just as far as like having to be so mindful to do them.
Yeah.
But I've forced myself over the last 90 days to be better.
Yep.
And I agree. Like, I'm getting messages from people that I'm like, who is this?
Yep.
And they follow me, and they saw my story of like cute ducks with the mama duck while I was taking a walk.
Isn't it
You know?
interesting? As like as a 41-year-old bearded man, I can get away with posting like, oh, look at this turtle with a heart emoji I put over the top of it, like something I would never allow to like live forever. But for 24 hours,
Yeah, man.
I accept the fact that I think this turtle was cute, and I put a heart emoji on it. There you go, stories.
But have you noticed that you're posting more stories, like on Instagram?
Yeah. Sure.
It goes more into the stories versus you're being more selective in what you want, like in the actual
much so.
post.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 90% of what goes into my stories would never make a literal post
Right.
because it's just not valuable enough.
I think that's sort of the whole mechanism.
That's the whole
right?
point.
Yeah.
Is you can care way less,
Yeah.
and who cares? 24 hours from now, it's gone.
Yep.
And I think people are watching stories more now than they're even paying attention to posts anyway.
It's shit like, I mean, Facebook does a good job with their platform, man. It's weird how like we sort of get spoiled in the sense like, I don't want to scroll down too far.
Yeah.
I'll just watch these stories up here. Like Facebook has this amazing way of making us lazier and lazier and lazier.
Well, and I feel like they probably even prioritize the stories and how they show up depending on whose you linger on the most. Because there are people who have the
Yeah.
more engaged. Like when I see certain people's, I'm just like, sweet, right? And I always see the same few people first, and then it's a bunch of people. I'm like, who the hell? Like, how's this person even my friends? I don't know who this is. Right? Like, I'm scrolling through their stuff, and it's like their kid graduating, and I'm like, who do I know in this picture? Nobody.
these are strangers.
So let me ask you all this: Are y'all using Messenger very much?
No.
Zero.
In what manner? Because we are.
So, I mean, y'all have heard me teach this before. I think this is probably like my baby is birthday videos.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So yes.
Okay. So I was on a podcast with a lender the other day, and I talked about this on the podcast, and he literally messaged me yesterday and was like, I just have to tell you, you talked about it on the podcast. I did my first one this morning, and the guy messaged me back and was like, dude, that is so awesome. Thank you so much. We need to get together and talk about business.
Yep.
No, it works.
On his first one. And that also, right, that plays a role in who you're going to see in your stories, because I believe the algorithm is looking at private messages, and it's going, man, if Brian and Zach are private messaging each other, then they probably want to see each other's posts.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I'll give you. So I always remember that, and then I always forget to do it. I see the birthdays pop up. I'm like,
Same as you.
Draper. Like immediately, I think of you when I think of birthdays on Facebook. Like it's weird.
I do too.
Right? But here we go. This was a past client of mine, May 9th, so last week or a week and a half ago. Sent him a birthday video. And he responds, "This is awesome." By the way, that was my first message to him, and he was a past client on Facebook.
Play it into your mic.
It says, "This is awesome. Thank you for the personalized." I
play
will-
the video in your
Hey,
mic. Oh, okay.
calm down. This is awesome.
No, play the video in it.
Thank you for the personalized video. You rock, right? And so let me see if I can. it's not going to work.
We shut
Turn
our
your
phones
phone
down.
up. Oh, yeah, I have it turned down because we have the other thing going on.
Everything's going well, given what's going on in the world right now. So hope you have an amazing birthday. Hey, buddy, just wanted to personally wish you a happy birthday. Hope everything's going well, given what's going on in the world right now. So hope you have an amazing birthday, and reach out to me if you need anything. Take care.
Super easy.
Is it?
Boom. And see, you
Drapers
could've-
are off the charts.
You could have one-upped
dude.
it because now they've got the green screen effect.
Look at it.
So I'm like floating in outer space on a video that I did
funny.
this morning.
That's awesome.
And the response back, right, is this realtor said, "This is everything and made me smile. Thank you."
Yeah.
Right? We're just taking up what I like to call relational currency with people.
yeah.
Right? That's the game we're playing.
Yeah.
And so this is so easy. You
What-
can do 10 of these in 3 minutes.
Well, what I like about it, because we were using BombBomb to do that before, where
Yeah.
you created one, and you knew, like,
Yeah,
you could
man.
probably be like, I don't think he recorded
Bomb
that
Bomb's better
today."
than nothing at all.
Right.
Sure.
But it's
Sure.
not.
It is.
It doesn't feel
But,
personal.
and that's also why I made sure to let him know, like, hope you're enjoying your birthday with everything going on.
Yeah.
Right? I wanted to let him know, like, I just now sent this
Yeah.
to you. Like, I took 10 seconds out of my time.
And just make sure on those, just say their name.
yeah, that's
right?
the thing.
In
is just say
some
their name.
capacity,
Yeah.
I sing happy birthday.
yeah.
Right? That may never be your
not
style, right?
I would rather
So-
put the turd face over and be like, hopefully you're having a,
I want Nick
And you
in his-
should do that.
yeah.
That would be so funny.
You absolutely should.
That
do
should just be your thing. Every one of them. You just your turd face. Happy birthday, guys.
Dick, can you zoom in on my thing? Is that possible? Or do you have to come in here? Do you guys want to see the birthday videos I send Matt on his
Oh
birthday?
yeah.
Point it,
that used
point
to be
it
my
facing
favorite.
towards your camera.
That was my favorite filter.
These don't murder as hard if you can't see it on video. So like, and there's a
See
the
how close
backstory.
if you hold it out
Yeah,
there.
turn it around towards
Okay,
us.
I'm gonna turn it around. Let me turn it up.
And you're on
I'm
this
gonna go
one, by the
right
way.
here.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so I'm gonna do the first one. So the backstory
Oh, yeah, we can
is
see that.
I was on vacation. My wife and I were headed to Chicago. So the first one is like 6:30 in the morning from the airport lounge when we were already drinking mimosas, and then the second one is from like 10 o'clock at night in Chicago when we're at the bar. We did another one after we had like way more drinks. So. This was literally, I had taken a freaking class with Kyle like the week before. So I was like on a big birthday video tear for a little while. So this was, I got to play this right into the mic. If you can see how goofy this filter is with our face. So
Oh,
this, here's
man.
number one.
Hey, buddy. Happy birthday.
That is the creepiest one. And then, so we're like later on, we're at the bar. And then me.
This one's way better.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday to you.
Birthday, dear Matt.
Happy birthday to you.
We're just like, and it's like a Tuesday. We're like bothering the hell out of them too.
That's what it's all about,
They work, man.
right?
Do
It's
that for all of your prospects.
It's so easy.
Everyone.
Let me ask you, these new video rooms,
Yeah.
what is this on Facebook? What is it like? What can we do with it? Is there a way that, because we can do it in the only real estate group worth being a part of. So
Yep.
if you're not a part of that Facebook group yet, go request access.
So, in general, they're called messenger rooms, and it's Facebook's attempt to take some market share back from Zoom.
Yeah.
Right? I think Zuckerberg
Yeah.
was like, "Are you seeing? Zoom's up 200%."
Worth more than all
Right?
the airlines combined.
And so
Insane.
so they quickly put this together, and so you can have up to 50 people in a room at a time, and it's all free. There's no time limit, which they're saying makes it better than Zoom, because on the free version you get 40
It's like
minutes
44
max,
minutes,
and
40
you're
minutes, yeah.
and you're out. So you can do very intentional things. You can put on events and have rooms like that. But what I think is going to be really cool for social media, similarly to the birthday videos, is if for the next hour, I'm going to be at my desk, just working on whatever. Just open your room up and just leave it open. Because now you see it at the top
Yeah.
where stories are. If someone has a room open, there's a join button. You tap that button and boom, you're in their room. So I've done it a couple times already where I've done it one on my personal page and then one in my Top of Mind Selling group. And I just leave it open. And bro, it's so cool. Like a realtor from Chicago popped in, a realtor from Baltimore popped in, a realtor from Iowa popped in, and I was introducing them to each other, and they were asking each other questions. And so I think on a level for our business, May you want to reconnect with people that you haven't talked to in a while? Just open up a room and just watch who pops in. And then I would be intentional about popping into other people's rooms. And I guarantee it, the next time I'm on the show or on just one of your future episodes, you're going to go, bro, I opened my room up last night.
Somebody came
and
in.
somebody popped in, and all of a sudden they were asking me, how do they know how much their home's worth?
Yep.
And I'm going over to their house tomorrow. Like, that's the
Like-
story that's going to start happening.
Yep.
Really actionable for virtual open houses and stuff too. Instead of just
Yeah.
going straight live, do a room, right? Like
But how do you drive people to it though?
the same way you drive people to normal stuff. Advertise your Facebook link.
Yeah, so you can.
Facebook.com.
Is there a link
//
to the
No, but if you say
messenger?
if you advertise,
Yeah.
you can do the.
So there's-
okay.
yeah.
There-
So there's a link to the
so
actual room too. Okay.
You can set it up because I've seen some people's where they'll go live, they'll do a room Friday, so it'll be at the top of your Facebook and it'll say join, but in red it'll say the future date. So you could promote it. We're gonna be live Friday in our room for whatever it is, whether it's a home buyer, happy hour, or we're gonna showcase one of our listings, whatever it is. You can do all of that stuff. You can make a graphic in Canva, promote it that way, and then there's a link attached that you can give to guests, and they just click that link and come directly into the room.
So, like, how even after the pandemic is over, are you not doing virtual weekday open houses all the time for lead gen? Like, that's
yeah.
just crazy good actionable advice.
Oh yeah. So think about this is what I would be. You all of you should instantly do this. This is how brilliant idea I think this is. So
Shut
think
down
about-
the podcast. We got to do this right
you ready?
now.
So who knows when a parade of homes will ever happen again?
Right.
And even if that was cool, I don't even know if that was beneficial in general.
It's a place to go eat hamburger, man.
Right?
Yeah,
So-
dude. I mean, the
so
hamburger man
imagine-
loved it. That's their whole business.
Imagine if y'all have got 5 listings going live for the Herd Group this weekend. And so you get on
Slow weekend.
You get on slow weekend, more like 100. and so you get on StreamYard.
Okay.
And let's say you host. You're going to host the show. So you're the host on StreamYard. You announce it all week long. Guys, we're doing a virtual parade of homes. We're going to showcase to you our 5 favorite listings, our 10 new listings, whatever it is. And then you get your agents. You're in a house. Another agent's in a house. Another agent's in a house. Elizabeth is hosting, for you guys. And then y'all just pop in. All of you have the guest link. And then you go at 1:05, we're going to Matt's house. At 1:15, we're going to Danny's house. And then they pop in, and then now he's showing the home live, and you get to be the kind of backseat commentator that's like, bro,
Yeah.
is that granite? Dude, that granite looks nice.
It's just
Yeah.
And
instant
it's just
support.
it's just giving you support. It's creating additional
Yeah.
ways of communication, and then now you're actually able to plug 6 or 8 different personalities too into one place.
And StreamYard, you can go live
To
on
now
personal
tag
and
them
business.
in.
Yep.
And guys, I'm telling you, I think this would be massive. And you could do it with just singular ones. You could say, we're going live Thursday at 1 to Matt out at Prosper at whatever.
Yep.
And you could still just host that singular open house
Yep,
or
100%.
virtual tour. But I think adding that second personality would just make it so much more fun.
Can these rooms be available? Are they only on your personal and in groups, or can it be in pages?
It could be, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I haven't tried it for my actual Coach Kyle
Yeah,
page. I don't think, just knowing Facebook, I don't know that they would want us to pick up a whole lot of organic traffic to our business pages, because that would cheat them out of revenue.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be more of a personal page in a group environment that they really want that to flourish in.
You could always
This would be
record,
more of a
though.
StreamYard thing
Yes.
for the open house or tours part.
You could always record that StreamYard. Can you record and go live at the same time on StreamYard? Because if that's possible, then you just take that content and you put it on your business
it on
page
your
after the open
I mean,
house.
even you did.
It's
You
not
just
live.
get
It's not
another
sexy,
software
but
like
it's-
OBS
Yeah.
or something run in the background and just record it. Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
could, 100%.
Or you could upgrade, and then you could go live to YouTube, to your business page, to your personal page, all at the same time.
So you can use StreamYard inside those rooms.
no, that was technically separate from just the
Yeah, from the
messenger
story.
I got you.
room.
Yeah. I'm still trying to wrap in my head how can you if you're running a group, there's a lady in Canada that started a supporting the local restaurant groups, and I'm like, shit, you could run these rooms and have the local restaurant owners come in and pitch
Yeah.
and pitch whatever today. You know, maybe they're running a special that day, and then you could start advertising for them, and then you're becoming the connector, right? So in the only real estate group worth being a part of, we could have you know, people that we're affiliated with to come into the rooms and answer questions, webinar style,
Yeah.
like Justin Nelson, right? You know, we want to talk about VAs all day. You know, we're talking to Moses about running a YouTube webinar for us, and this guy is killing it running YouTube ads. He's talking about YouTube being the like Google pay-per-click back in the day. Like
Wow.
Really?
yeah, he's like, you can get impressions like no other at a cheap cost. He's picking up listings left and right from this.
I don't doubt it. I mean, same type of algorithm, same parent company, just different
So
platforms.
you get it in and you start hosting these groups, and then you get more interaction from the group.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm sure this is going to change, but you can't record the session in rooms yet. So it's still cool because it's
Yeah.
still live and you can bring a guest
That's okay.
in.
It's better live, like
you
from
know,
that standpoint.
But if you ever wanted to repurpose that content right now, you can't.
You can't.
But I mean, they've got to be. I'm sure that they wanted rooms out as fast as possible to
Right.
get some people back from Zoom, and then at some point in the next month, probably
They'll
they'll
refine
add a
it,
record
yeah.
button. But right now, you just have to rely on the live engagement from it.
Man, I love both those ideas, though, man. That parade of homes virtually and the restaurant thing,
The
dude.
restaurant thing is endless.
I mean, and it's just anything you do to support your local businesses right now and give them a platform, that's going to come back
Hey,
to you in spades.
I've got a guy. He's not a coaching client, but we met at NAR and he's been in my group and he just listens to what I say, which is rare. Like most people don't want to listen to anything, but he does, and it's weird. It's working.
Right. Yeah.
You believe that?
Yeah.
So, day one of the pandemic, he's in Illinois. Day one of the pandemic, he said, "I'm going to support local," and so every day, I think he's on number 40 something video wise. He went to a different local restaurant in his city, interviewed the manager, the owner, and got takeout from there. He's already been on the news 3 times in the last 7 weeks. And his average video is getting like 50 shares.
Wow.
And he's starting to get more and more business from it.
I bet.
And it's so simple. He's not creating anything.
No.
He's just literally going, "Where am I going to eat today?"
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And then being
Subway.
intentional about recording.
And he
Yeah.
turns his camera on and he walks in, interviews the manager, buys his food, encourages everybody else, "Hey, if you're not busy or you're hungry, come get lunch or dinner from here. Let's support local." And I mean, he's turning into the mayor of his town because everybody's seeing him.
It's a pretty awesome idea.
I wish I would have given him that idea.
Yeah.
I didn't, but it's brilliant.
So you got to wait for the next pandemic.
That's right. That's right.
'cause
Chalk
we're-
that
yeah,
up. for
Especially
round
here,
2.
because we're like, people just go wherever now.
Yeah.
Like, it's done.
Real quick, as we're wrapping it up, are you touching LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn I'm seeing a huge increase in LinkedIn right now.
For you personally?
Yep.
As far as like what your posts are getting
Now, I'm not
engagement
even
wise?
posting. I'm hitting up. You talk about playing in Facebook Messenger. I'm playing it all in LinkedIn Messenger.
Oh, okay. So your action inside of Messenger.
Yes.
What are you doing in there?
I mean, we're dropping. We run a program. I mean, we're all running it. We're running a program that will send connection requests, and then if we let's say that you fall in a certain target that we're a target market we're going after. So like for you, let's say you're wanting to build your real estate your real estate coaching client list. So you pull the list of Dallas-Fort Worth real estate agents that have the title on LinkedIn. Well, it will send a connection request,
Right.
and with a message. If you accept it, there's a sequence of messages that go out until you respond back, and then once it responds back, it notifies you, and then it gets me in a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also noticing they're going with LinkedIn is starting a live feature.
Yeah. Yep.
You have to get approved, which I have not been approved yet, but I just keep requesting. So that to me seems like a playground to be looking at to jump in on.
Yeah. I think it depends on where they are in the process. You know, you guys, I mean, both of your groups, y'all got Facebook on lockdown. You know, you've got agents using Instagram. And so I think y'all can take the obvious next step to YouTube or LinkedIn. To the average agent, I would tell them not to mess with LinkedIn right now because they're leaving so much on the table.
Yeah. And it's probably not where their listing and buyer business is coming from. It's
Right.
more of a connection, networking, referral, recruiting type.
Well, I mean, if you look at it though, LinkedIn tells you the job title. So if you want to go out, let's say you want to create a teachers only program.
Certainly.
Right? So you can create a client hit list. Let's say you want to create a doctors or nurses or medical, frontline workers, program right now where you're offering something up, right? You can create that hit list right away. Make a connection request.
Yeah.
Let them know, hey, I'm here. One, I want to thank you, and two, maybe you pull in a vendor list from your local restaurants that's offering discounts, coupons, etc. to the frontline workers, and then in order for them to request it, they click a link and it sends over to a Google form page they filled out. You capture their contact information, and then you send out the restaurant's discount or whatever is being offered, right? So then from there you can start branding your message, becoming that local mayor, in the community for frontline workers, as well as now you're becoming the mayor for local restaurant owners as well.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth looking into. Obviously, I'm assuming y'all are paying for that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's not free to have it all set up.
So, I just think whoever's listening just has to know where they're at. And if they want to take on that payment,
Right.
when there's so much low-hanging fruit in easier places.
That's true. If you're not doing the easy stuff first.
Right?
Yeah, start with Facebook and Instagram.
And I would definitely be, if you're starting to chop up content, you might as well open up LinkedIn and post the video there, post the picture there, whether it gets a like or not.
Yeah.
Right? It takes 10 extra seconds to open another app and do it. So I would definitely be doing that. I'll tell you guys, I don't respond to any of those jackholes that are on and have me on an automated drip on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like, not one. Now obviously y'all are paying for it and I'm sure it's working.
And it depends on what the message is too.
And maybe
like
it's just
everything.
because I'm smart and I know that's not really Nick.
Yeah.
But
I type out the message, so my messages seem like it's real, right? So
but we like to say that. We like to say that.
But if you
there's a
purposely-
certain level
We
of real.
said that about Sly Broadcast when it came out, too. Like, that voicemail sounded like it was just for you.
Yeah.
Just like, hello, homeowner.
But again, if it's working, my opinion, who gives a crap what I think?
Well, when it comes
Right.
when it comes to what we're doing on LinkedIn for that specific purpose,
Yeah.
it's a funnel game.
Yeah.
right?
100%.
That is complete.
Yeah, it's a
funnel.
numbers game.
Yeah, that is. We need to number that
Yep.
one out, just like when you're sending out mass mailings and stuff like that.
100%.
We're not here to build the upfront initial relationship.
Yeah.
Right, and so and it's okay from that point of view. And so just like if you're making a connection request from we're using it on our end for building out our teams. But if you're using it to build out a clientele list, I would go just like what I said, go back and rewind this part and go back and create, all right, I'm going to make a connection request for the frontline heroes and offer restaurants or some type of offering.
Yeah.
Right? And the only way you can get it is by submitting your information. This is legit and real.
Are you putting content on LinkedIn too?
I was, but again, I mean, you called me out for it. I stopped doing content during this whole thing, but one reason I stopped doing content is my headspace got filled with Zoom meetings, and I had Zoom fatigue.
Sure.
Right? I'm like, I have to be on here again.
I was very
gotta-
tired of seeing my own face. In my
Yes,
room.
and I'm tired of people like I clicked on the link, it's not letting me in, and then you have to I'm like, come on, I just got tired. And I'm like, I just I was off the computer more than anything during that time. So
Well, pick it
back up.
Let's pick it back up.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Yeah,
I've wired mine back up this week. So
yeah, I did 2-3 lives already this week, so
Good ones.
they're never good.
I don't know if there's much left to say other than that. Kyle Draper,
Do we get it?
4-time champion of the only real estate podcast we're listening to.
Oh, undefeated.
I'd
Where's
say
my
he's the New
belt?
York Yankees, but the Yankees suck, so we'll compare him to somebody who's not sucky.
I miss baseball so bad.
Did y'all see? I couldn't watch it, but they replayed Game 6 from 2011 World
Yes.
Series 2 nights ago.
I won't
We'll
rewatch
bring
it.
that up in here.
I couldn't.
I won't
couldn't
rewatch that,
watch
and
it.
I won't rewatch the episodes of Son of Anarchy when Opie dies. Sorry, I'm not watching either one ever again.
Oh yeah.
Not gonna watch
Spoiler
either.
alert.
Yeah. If you haven't seen,
It's
yeah,
like 6 years ago.
yeah, even more than that. Sorry. Yeah.
Don't tell me how The Sopranos ends either.
All right,
Fade to black.
you can find Coach Kyle Draper at Coach Kyle Draper on all
That's right.
platforms.
Yup.
Top of mind selling. is your
Everywhere
Facebook
you
group.
look, top of mind selling for the real estate industry is my Facebook group.
Friend him on Facebook. The day before your birthday, and you'll get a video the next day.
Maybe, or get deleted.
Or get deleted.
Depends on what I think about you.
Yeah, it depends on
I
my
have
friend.
been deleting people because of that too. I'm like, you know what? I need some more room.
ADUs.
Yeah.
Gentlemen?
And I'm not making a political post just to get people to unfriend me.
No. No. Cheers.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Thanks for being on, buddy.
Appreciate it, brother D.
Get us out, baby.
Are you going to hit me with a billionaire idea here?
Same delay. Put me on the spot. I do not have one. I'm so sorry. That was a terrible outro, by the way.
Just
You're
play.
like-
Just start playing
we're
music
like,
right.